Hey there, guys. So we're going to be going back to the Aphmau Silver Crown fight, and we're going to be doing an all mission clear for those of you that pulled on the Ayaka banner. So I went ahead and leveled up a second Shantoto. I got her, to EX2, which should be good enough. And then I went ahead and used potions and all on Shadow Lord. I didn't really want to, invest in all these units to get it done, but it felt bad skipping a mission. So we're going to be going with this party and getting an all mission clear. It's definitely not cheap or anything, but it should work overall. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with Aphmau doing her LB on the boss. Now we got to make sure that we apply poison. If we don't apply poison, we just retreat and come back in. Also, don't use the Summer Whip. I kind of made a mistake in my previous video. If you apply like silence and all to the boss, he'll use more healing. You only want to poison the boss. So use Aphmau's Crowned LB. You get the crowns from the earlier levels. Crowned base form LB to get the boss poisoned and broken. Now we're going to use Trance and Thorn Stance with Liliset. That's going to unlock her stuff. The Shantotos and the Shadow Lord are going to start in the base form for auto buffing. Let's now go and use the vision card chain on the Shantotos. Now I'm using 2 vision cards, but the other Shantoto has very low investment, so she's not going to do a ton of damage, so it's probably not even really required. And then you could probably give them like Irine's Ring and then quad of a normal spell. So we're going to use Kneel Before Me, True Cross Slash, and Lightning Blitz on them. I'm going to go ahead and chain this up a little bit. So we're going to deal some damage, and then on the boss's turn, he'll take some poison damage. So we're going to get hit here pretty decently hard, but as long as no one dies or triggers guts, you're okay. So now, if Shadow Lord had not gotten his LB, you can use Liliset to fill it with Get Distracted and you'll get hurt. There it is. We're going to use How About a Waltz With Me. But because we don't need you'll Get Distracted, we'll just waltz twice and then do, Thorn Stance to unlock the waltz again. We're going to use Aphmau to go to the shift form. We're going to use Cover for the mitigation. We can't actually cover anything. And then we're going to do Fire Imbue and Fill LB so that we can do a little bit of burst with Aphmau next turn. I'm going to just reload these, and we're going to use the LB of Shadow Lord. Now, we don't want to push the boss below 50 this turn if possible. That's great. That's great. Okay, so the boss gets a defense buff this turn, a healing, etc. Some damage, not a big deal. Okay, now we are going to use, we're going to just reload these. Now the boss has a buff, so we're going to perfect dispel that away. So Liliset is going to energy drain to get rid of that. And then we're going to Get Distracted and you'll get hurt twice. That is going to refill the LB gauge of Shadow Lord. Okay, so now Shadow Lord's going to LB again. We're going to vision card the other 2. And now we're also going to use the shifted LB of Shantoto and deal a little bit of damage here. There it is. Now we're also going to Guts this turn because our Shantotos are very squishy. They Guts, we get perfect dispelled, no big deal. The boss gets some poison. There it is. Okay, now we are going to have Shadow Lord just triple Bolting Strike here. We're going to have Liliset triple. We're going to double How About a Waltz, and then we're going to do Thorn Stance to unlock her skills again. Aphmau can reapply mitigate. Remember, we got dispelled. We're going to reapply mitigation. I Must Be Strong for mitigation, and then just Fire Imbue again. And we'll go ahead and chain this up. Now, depending on the damage, you might even kill the boss here. And actually, we did kill the boss, because the boss is now going to die to poison. So, okay, so if we didn't die to poison, you'll see right here that we're all paralyzed. We would use Liliset to use her Maiden of the Dusk, and that would cure the paralyzed. And then we would use double cast of her LB fill to fill Shadow Lord if he wasn't ready to go. And then we would just chain and LB again. But there it is. 4 turns, no new units. But we did use the vision card stuff. And as you can see, the second Shantoto's vision card is not that big a deal. So if you don't have 2 copies, you can use, what's it called? You can use Quad Irony's Ring and put her on someone with the Water spell and just quad that, because I'll show you the gear we're using in a second. Or maybe you don't even need Quad Irony's Ring. I don't know if she has Quad Cast naturally, but use Irony's Ring. Anyway, there was an all missions without the new units. You know, got it done. Nice, got our last crown. Make sure you get your crown out of the mail before you use your Aphmau's crowns. Okay, so let me show you the team we did once it loads it up. Okay, so Aphmau in the base form is, we did use the silver crowns on her base form. So, where it is? Where is it? Right here. Yeah, right here. So we silver crowned her from level 1 and 2 crowns in the base form. We gave her a poison weapon. Just give her the best poison weapon you can. Kamari's Knuckles is another one. But you need a way to poison, and just don't use anything that applies other status effects, because that'll cause the boss to heal more. I forgot to mention that in the previous video. Other than that, kind of literally whatever. Like you can't really tank anything here. So yeah, kind of whatever. She is provoking. Oh, and we did use this card for the auto-casting Greatsword in Peril, which helped out Shadow Lord a little bit. We'll show you the gear in a second. But we did kill it a turn early, so you don't technically need all that. And then Shift Form, kind of the same. You know, we kind of tried to burst with her, but not really, because she wasn't geared for damage at all. But there it is. Lily Set is just using, we didn't actually attack the boss for poison, so kind of ignore that. Just give her a lot of bulk. A little bit of light resist. Status immunity is important, because we use her to cure the statuses on turn 5 if you didn't win by them. Shadow Lord in the base form, Dragon's Brush, Paws of Prosperity, and then Call of the Wild to get his LB as much as possible. Wisdom of Hess, Auto Bravery, Saintly Castle, so that we get some auto buffing. And then a automatic Dark Amplify item. I think the Rakshasa Blade is the only auto Dark Amplify item in the game. I'm not sure, but there we go, base form. Shift form, double-handed Dark Greatsword. You could also use like a double-handed Fire Greatsword, or just a double-handed Elemental Greatsword. And if you don't have the Leave It To Me card, then just, you know, the best double-hander you can, like the Dark Visions Katana, because you're not going to have Weapon in Peril. But other than that, you know, LB damage versus the boss, 100 light resist, so we don't, you know, die. And then there it is. I think he's maxed on everything. He doesn't have any chain cap in his shift form, so we're getting 1 chain cap from Magisters, 1 chain cap from the Not Always to the End. If you don't have this card, give him like Knights of Grand Shell card, and then swap out the Crystal Gloves for Regina's STMR, and you'll still be at full chain cap. And then he's at 275 LB and maxed machine. The weak Shantoto is a lot of auto buffing. Again, just all the auto buffing in the base form. Shift form is using a water weapon because we're chaining water. This is the bad Shantoto, my secondary one. 100 light resist, a source of guts because we just die on turn 3 otherwise, so there you go. And then kind of damage. This Shantoto dealt very low damage, but we are using the friendship card. Then other Shantoto geared a little better, so Obsidian Bracer, a lot of auto buffing, Poppy's Paintbrush for the automatic water amplify, Auto Faith, Auto Hess, Auto Saintly Castle, another card. And then Shift Form is using a 2-handed Water Rod. That way we get elemental chaining without doing any kind of imbue stuff. So there we go. She only has 5,800 magic. I didn't even door pot her, but I did magic pot her to the original cap. But there it is, and then she is at 275 machine, and we didn't do LB. So there it is. There is a way to do it all missions with the card. You know, it did involve using pots on some units I'll literally never ever use again after this week. But, oh well, there it is. Okay, and we now have our silver crowns for Shantoto. Not Shantoto, for Aphmau. Okay, see you next time.